In 1899, our Craftsman bungalow was built, and over a century later, we decided to take her on as she is in desperate need of some love. For those that are new here, hi, I'm Natalie, and my husband Philip and I love fixing up old homes, modernizing them while still retaining all those incredible details that make a historic home special. When we bought the house in November of 2024, we knew she had so much potential. She had lots of charm, but also peeling paint, rotting siding, and more quirks than we knew what to do with. We've tackled small projects, replacing doors, adding a cut flower garden, adding gutters, because yes, believe it or not, there were none when we bought it. But in this video, we're tackling a huge renovation. In part 1, we replace all the siding, and in part 2, we paint the whole exterior and say bye-bye to all the red. If you love a good before and after video, this transformation is one you do not want to miss. Enjoy. Okay, Philip's helping me film this for you guys, but basically wanted to take you outside and show you the current condition of the siding. It's very, very rough, just a little warning, and kind of walk you through the plan that we have. Okay, so we are on our front porch right now that we love so, so much, but come over here because I want to show you a really bad part of the siding. Okay, so basically this is not the original siding we found out, and it's also asbestos, which is not good.
No bueno.
No bueno, needs to go. But yeah, this is a part that is really rough. You can see there's like a ton of rotten wood all over the windowsills. So basically all of this is going to be replaced. The only thing we are keeping are like some of the details like up here, and then there's also all of this detail work underneath the porch that we're going to be keeping, of course. So basically keeping everything intact except this like awful siding that has to go. One thing I am kind of nervous about, and let me know if this, well, I guess we will have already done it in this video, so you can't let me know, but one thing we're going to be doing is instead of doing this large siding, we're going to actually be doing like 4-inch, I believe.
Yep.
Somewhere around there. Not sure the exact size, but so I think it's going to look really good. It's going to look more detailed and more like a historic home. I'm a little nervous about that, but I think it'll be good. Okay, right now we are in the backyard. There's this awful, I guess, what is it? A patio?
Deck.
A deck, a wooden deck that desperately needs to be torn down. So we're going to do something really nice out here with stone. So this is just temporary, but I wanted to show you how the siding, the previous owner, somebody put this siding on that doesn't even match to the rest of the siding. So it's just like a big mess and we need a fresh restart. But right now I'm going to have Philip talk to you guys a little bit about the insulation because he knows more about it than I do, but basically this house has no insulation, so I'm gonna hand it over to him.
All right, guys, we're on the side of our house, and this is the old siding, as you can see. And what we found when we pulled this off right here is basically that the house had no insulation whatsoever. So it's just wood, and those are already our studs, and this is our drywall right here.
Oh my God.
So usually in a house, that's where the insulation sits. This house is so old, doesn't have any. So what we're gonna have to do is pull down the old asbestos shingle, which is this thing right here that I'm holding, and also pull back this wood that they had put on there, insulate the house, put on plywood, put on a wrap that protects water from coming in, and then put on the siding. So it's a couple steps that we need to do, but that will make sure that the house stays dry and looks pretty at the same time.
Love it. Good morning, my friends. It is finally the day of. I'm nervous and excited. I just hope everything goes to plan. It was so much to coordinate because we had to coordinate with like 3 different teams. So we've got the siding guys, well, actually 4 different teams, the siding guys, the insulation guys, and then an HVAC guy because I'm running a gas line to the front of the house where I'm going to be installing this beautiful gas lantern, but just right above the door. But they have got to basically run the line when the siding is off. So before they put on the new siding. And then we also had to schedule a dumpster, and it still hasn't arrived. So I'm hoping it arrives soon because I need everyone to get started. But it was a lot of moving parts, and I'm glad we got it all figured out. I'm gonna try and squeeze in a Pilates class, and then I'm gonna be right back. Hopefully the guys don't get started while I'm at Pilates. If they do, I'm gonna have Philip film a little bit for me. But I was hoping I could slip away, run there real quick, and get back before anything major has happened. The plan of events is first, the siding guys are gonna strip off all the old siding. There's also another layer of wood that they're gonna have to take off, and the house is gonna look absolutely insane, I'm sure. So kind of excited to see it in that state. It's gonna get worse before it gets better, you know what I mean? But once they remove that siding, then we're gonna have the insulation guys go in there, and also the HVAC guy run the gas line underneath. And then we'll be ready to put back on the new siding. So it's gonna look so, so good. I think we're just getting the siding primed for now. And I think the primer, I'm pretty sure it's like, looks like a yellow color. So that's gonna only be here for a couple of days. And then we've got the painters scheduled for next week. Wanted to give a little bit of wiggle room in case the siding takes a little bit longer than we anticipated. So we're gonna be living with just the primed siding for a couple of days until we get it painted. But I am so freaking excited. Yeah, wish us luck. Hopefully everything goes to plan. We're probably gonna need more dumpsters. I think we only have one scheduled. We're probably gonna need a second one because it's just so much material and 2 layers basically of material. Quick update, the HVAC guy is here. He's working on installing the gas line. But real quick, I ran upstairs where we just currently have storage, but eventually we're gonna be creating our primary suite up here. Vinny's coming to check it out. And I wanted to show you the lantern that we have because we were just storing it up here, but let me show that to you. Okay, here is our beautiful gas lantern. I cannot wait to get this installed. It's from a company called Bungalow. Here's the name right there, but I'll also link them down below. They have the most beautiful electric and gas lanterns, so if you're interested, definitely check them out. This is not sponsored or anything. I just am so happy with how this turned out. It is day 2 of our siding renovation project. Okay, the demo yesterday took way longer than we thought. They still have a little bit of siding to pull off, and the insulation guys finished most of it, but not all of it. So that's what they're finishing today. I'm not gonna lie, yesterday was really stressful. There was just constant banging for hours on end. It's just one of those things, like when you're living in the house and renovating it, it just comes with its challenges. And, you know, our dogs, like they can't use the backyard because all the trucks and the dumpster and everything. It's a lot. You just feel like people are in your space, even though it's just on the outside, which I can't imagine once we get to renovating the inside. But anyways, today, I think we're gonna get through most of the siding, putting it up, which I am so excited for because the house looked so rough yesterday. It honestly had to get worse before it got better. And now I do have some good news and some bad news. And I think I'm gonna give you the bad news first so that we end on the good. The bad news is that, so a lot of the windows in the house have been replaced, basically all of them except for like 2. So replaced with vinyl. And we knew when we moved in here that we would need to replace those at some point because a lot of them are broken. They're just in rough condition. But it was a little farther down on our list. But yesterday, when they were removing the windowsills, the rotten ones on the outside, they honestly, the windows look like they're about to pop out. A lot of them are far more broken than we thought. They're letting so much air in. It's crazy. From the inside, some of the windows are popping out so much that you can slide your finger in. So there's just a lot of stuff going on with the windows that kind of pushed it up further on our list. That's okay. It's just one of those things, we realized just how bad they were as they were doing this process. But the good news is that there was way less rotten wood underneath the siding once they removed it than we thought. I thought that we were gonna have to replace so much wood, and it turned out that there was only 1 or 2 tiny spots that were rotten. So that was really, really good news. So everything's looking great. Yesterday we had a little bit of a scare because they had put in all the insulation or finish. They need to put the plywood first, and then they're gonna do wrap it and then do the siding. But basically the insulation was exposed, which apparently is really bad if it rains because basically the insulation will get wet and just soak into your drywall. So that's not good. That's not what you want. And we really weren't sure if it was going to rain because we've been having recently just random little showers with the last maybe 10 minutes. But yesterday it didn't rain at all, and it kept pushing it back in the forecast to later and later in the day. And turns out it didn't rain a drop. But we had them wrap everything in this construction tarp. I'm not sure the exact term, but wrap everything that they could. One side they finished with the plywood, so everything was protected. But yeah, it was a little stressful at the end just because we thought that they would be so much further along by the end of the day. So excited for today because it's actually gonna start looking like a proper house again. And I know it's just gonna be beautiful. Okay, look at this window frame from the inside. This is what I was talking about, all cracked. There's so much space here. So we're gonna have to replace these windows from the inside. I don't even think this one opens, but we're gonna have to replace this and redo this trim, unfortunately. Here's another one. We had just dust pouring in because there's such large gaps. Believe it or not, I cleaned up this dust yesterday and I'm gonna have to do it again. I was kind of waiting for them to finish all the demo before I do because I'm just gonna be cleaning it up once again. Stuff is just pouring in from the windows, so that's super fun. Halfway through day 2, and what do we have here, babe? It's the
Covered in plywood. House wrap next. And what comes then?
It. Well, we also have a portion, we're still waiting on the guy to come, the HVAC guy, to install the lantern. So we've got to get that all wrapped up. After that, they're going to start putting up the siding, the actual siding, which cannot wait.
Exciting.
Yay! Exciting siding.
So they started on the building wrap, as you can see, and the windows are covered right now. Those are going to be cut out later on. And next is siding, and then we're done.
Paint. Siding and paint. It's looking so much cleaner. Once they get those boards up and the wrap up, it looks so good and clean. Okay guys, this is pretty crazy that we found. First of all, this framing job is atrocious, so we're gonna have to redo that. This is actually our bathroom, and we realized that someone made the ceiling a lot shorter. So when we remodel, we're gonna be able to lift up the ceiling in there, which is such good news. Basically just to have taller ceilings in our little bathroom.
And a taller window.
And a taller window. We're gonna reframe this, and yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Because right now the ceiling ends at the top of this window, like half a foot above this window.
Walk into the bathroom and it feels so much shorter than all the other, ceilings in the house. And now we know we have a lot of room up above, so we're just going to make it taller. Friends, okay, it is day 3 of this renovation project. Work has already begun. I'm sure you can hear it in the background. Yesterday was a really exciting day because we did get the gas lantern installed, and I can't believe how much it changes the front porch already. It is such a beautiful ambiance. It was a really difficult install, and the guy said it was his top 3 hardest install jobs. So there's that, but they did an amazing job. We used the team it's called Quest AC Services, and they were so great. They were so helpful. We did have to cut in a little bit into underneath the porch, which I didn't want to do. That's the original wood siding or wood planking, whatever that's called underneath there. So we had to cut a couple of squares just for them to run the gas, but we're gonna get it patched and it's gonna be fine. But yeah, definitely a very, very difficult install. And the great thing about gas is that it's always on. So that lantern is always burning. You can adjust the flame as well. It's honestly pretty cheap. I think it's gonna cost us about $20 a month. Asking ChatGPT, of course, because I don't really know yet, but we're gonna see how much it costs, but it's very, very minimal. It's a tiny flame. So really inexpensive, honestly, and just gives an incredibly luxe look to the house. Today, I think we're actually gonna get started on installing the siding, which I cannot wait to see. We still have to finish the dormers, and there's a lot of detail work to do, and I think that's gonna take a lot of time because details always do, but it's looking so, so good. And I'm just so excited to show you everything that's gonna go on today. It was a really exhausting day yesterday. I think Philip and I are both ready for this to be wrapped up, especially our puppies as well. There's just a ton of banging constantly. The puppies don't have their yard. We have to take them on frequent walks around the block just so that they can go out and get outside of the house. The dumpsters look insane. There was so much debris, so much demo work done. We had to move in all of our furniture. I think I forgot to mention, but we had to move in all of our patio furniture. I had to move in as many plants as I could, but I have some plants in super large pots that I just had to cover because I've got siding thrown in my garden beds. There's debris everywhere. I think we're gonna be picking it up for weeks, no joke. But that's okay. It needed to be done. Out with the old, in with the new. It is such a good feeling, and it's honestly so nice to be doing this in the fall when I feel I'm decluttering anyways, and just to get our house having a fresh start on the outside. It's a really nice feeling. Hello, friends. We are on day 4 of renovations. I think we're going to need 5 days, actually. Yesterday was the most exciting, I think.
Yes, it took longer than we thought because the demo took way longer because we had not 1 but 3 layers of siding that we had to take off. So that took a full day as opposed to just a couple hours. And yesterday they started putting the actual siding on, which Natalie, I'm sure, is going to show you. It looks really
I've
good.
already kind of showed you guys. So they did about what, like half the house, the main house.
Yeah.
We still have like the rest of the house and then the dormers. And then from here on out, it's like a lot of little detail work.
Trim work around the window, little things that are not very labor intensive, but they take a lot of time to cut the trim accurately around the windows, and all that detail work takes a little bit of time. So hopefully they'll finish it tomorrow.
Oh, one thing that happened yesterday was we realized that around all the columns, the base of the columns where it just has like trim, most of it is rotten. I mean, I knew that, but I didn't really think about the siding guys fixing that. I don't know why. But Philip just ran yesterday and what'd you go to? Like Lowe's and got some trim?
Just got some crown molding and it's gonna look really good. I picked a nice one, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna be, so the painter will, you know,
we're gonna be replacing that too, and that's gonna make our columns look so a lot better than they do now.
I know. Trying to think if there's anything else. I just honestly can't, like I knew that this was gonna make a huge difference, but visually seeing it, I can't believe what a big difference this is making in the house.
I can't imagine that we lived with our old siding for as long as we did. It's awful.
For months.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know how we lived that way because it's truly night and day. And I'm so glad that we went with the smaller siding instead of those big boards. It just looks so good and so detailed and just really fits the house, I think.
Makes it look more intricate as well. I hope you guys are excited to see the finished product, and we're painting next week. So that's going to be another huge jump in how good the house looks, we hope.
I know, because right now it's like 5 different colors going on just from, you know, the previous owner and stuff. So it'll be so great to see it. But yeah, we'll continue to keep you guys updated as we go.
Yeah, stay tuned.
While I have you, I wanted to just say, if you wouldn't mind, please subscribing if you're liking this video so far. We plan to keep you guys updated on all the renovations that we're doing in the house. And honestly, every view or like or comment or subscribe just really helps us continue our renovation and restoration efforts. So thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to us. And yeah, I just hope that we can continue to do some more renovations and bring you guys these videos. Okay guys, it has been a couple of days. We had some rain delays, but we are finally done with the siding. So part 1 of this project is done and we're gonna be starting on the paint tomorrow. There's only a couple of little details like around the columns, but our painter came by and actually primed underneath there just to help with any water because there was no paint on the wood underneath the original trim. Okay, remember this wall that was so bad? I showed it at the beginning of this vlog. But this is it now. This was the worst wall by far, and it just looks so good. We're so happy. One thing the painter is gonna need to do is sand down all of the columns. There's tons of details, original details, that need to just be sanded to get them in good shape, and then we're gonna start the paint. But overall, I am so in love with how the siding turned out. The team did a great job. It was honestly really challenging because it's such an old house, but they did amazing. It looks so good. We're really happy with the gas lantern. Everything is coming together and I just can't wait for tomorrow when we start getting paint done.